Okay, tonight I'm in the town of Faro in the Yukon. It's a coal mining town on the Robert Campbell Highway. I came out of Dawson City this morning after an extra day there because of the Arctic Circle trip. Headed down the Klondike Highway towards Whitehorse, which was a relatively boring, easy drive, and then veered left at Carmack's for this Robert Campbell Highway. The trip in here to Faro is simple and easy and quite pretty, but from here on out it's dirt to almost to Watson Lake, and I think that's 300 and some odd kilometers, so it's a ways. So it's the bit I've been a little bit apprehensive about, but after the Dempster Highway it probably can't be any worse than that. Speaking of, with camp set up and settled for the evening, I've got to go and repair again my radiator on the bike. I took a rock off a big fuel truck blasting by me on the Dempster Highway, put a hole in one of my two radiators, and it's been leaking a little bit of coolant ever since. I did a quick patch repair on it, roadside on the Dempster Highway. But that was with the bike hot and not letting the epoxy set before taking off. So tonight, with the bike cool, I'm going to try and do a proper repair on it, one that'll get me home without worry, and let it sit overnight. So that's my job for this evening, and otherwise got a comfy tent set up, and tomorrow is really heading south and back into British Columbia for the trip home. Looking forward to it. I saw this on YouTube once. So here on my dirty bike are the radiators, and this one here took a rock in the center at the bottom there and started leaking. So the trick is to soak it down with gasoline to try and clean it, and I happen to be carrying some extra gasoline for the couple of long spots that gas stations are far apart in. Soak it down with gasoline, let it dry, and then use this steel weld or aluma weld epoxy, mix up a batch and stick it on, and hope for the best. Hope that it gets in there and plugs the little capillary that's broken and leaking. If not, it's only using a couple of ounces of water a day, so I think it would probably be fine anyway. But we'll see if we can fix it a little bit better. That radiator is going to cost like 300 bucks, I bet you. Oh well. I guess I'll make dinner while I wait for the gasoline to dry. This is effectively the extent of my camping cooking gear, but it works perfectly. It's the minimalist GLI pot slash cup slash mug slash saucepan, and a tiny burner, and a little sleeve for it and everything, and it's absolutely all I need for these sorts of trips, given lunches at diners and stuff like that. This is Thai peanut curry. Yum yum. Alright, after dinner and a nice shower and some general stuff, I finished my radiator repair. Let's hope that this is going to do it. It's been cleaned, epoxied, and then covered with duct tape to try and get the epoxy to squish into the right places, front and back. We'll find out tomorrow if that's going to help or not. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it sets up nicely overnight. I think that's it. This is Beautiful Boya Lake, the Glacier Highway in northern BC. Gorgeous provincial park, campground. Fantastic. Tonight I'm in Bell 2, which is an odd name, but I think it refers to the second crossing of the Bell River, maybe. Bell 2 Lodge is a heli-skiing lodge. It's a cool environment. It's got some lodge rooms and some cabins and a central hot tub and walking around and so on. It is bug season though, mosquito season. Anyway, this is south of Dease Lake, about halfway to Stewart, BC, which is on the border with Alaska. On the other side of Stewart is Hyder, Alaska, and the glacier that I'm going to see tomorrow. Today was a long run. Did 400 kilometers basically of dirt from Faro, Yukon Territory, to Watson Lake. It was a little bit of a challenge with not much reward. There's not much view. Anyway, from there, a very short little jog over to the top of the Glacier Highway, and I ran 500 kilometers down the Glacier Highway to Bell 2. Today's trip down the Glacier was beautiful. Glacier is a great BC highway, tall mountains, snow, lakes, twisty corners, varied forest, very pretty. Really had a nice drive down the Glacier. Anyway, it's all going well. Working my way south on BC. It is Tuesday morning. I am on the Stewart Glacier Highway near the bottom on my way down to Stewart to go across the Alaskan border into Hyder to see a big glacier. And this is what it looks like down this valley between sharp, tall mountains on the way down to Stewart. That's the first glimpse of the Salmon Glacier. I'm going to keep riding up and see it up close. Well, I've ridden all the way up the road in the mountainside up to the best viewing point for Salmon Glacier. And unfortunately up here, visibility is maybe 50 yards maybe. There's no view of the glacier. Glad I got a photo down lower. If there were, it would be behind me there. There is not. There is a group of guys here on a trip up from South America, Argentina, to Los Angeles, to here, and going up to Anchorage. They are waiting as well to see if this is going to lift off a little. getting awfully narrow, so I think this is where I need to turn around. Yeah, I think so. Once again, it's the end of the road. Little side road that goes under the main road and gets a little closer to the glacier. But I'm not about to go trying to make tracks over snow on motorcycle, I think. So this will have to do. Unbelievable. Lots of adventure there on the in Hyder, going up to the Salmon Glacier. Fun and games for me, but sadly it looks like there was some tragedy there today as I was up above and behind the glacier this morning. Below and in front of the glacier there seems to have been some sort of accident, and I think a local worker hurt or killed. I don't know what the details are yet. So sad, and I'll have to find out more about that. Now I'm back from that excursion and turned right to head out on the rest of the Glacier Highway towards Prince George, stopping well before then. I've got a hotel tonight. And I've stopped here on the side of the road because my bike has thrown a code about the anti-lock brakes and stability control codes have come on. That's not really a big deal. You can ride without that stuff. It turns off the cruise control, but that's about it. Anyway, I washed where the sensors are on the wheels and tried to get all the mud and stuff off, and hopefully that's all that was causing the problem. We'll see. Again, it's not a big deal either way, but something to take a look at, I guess. Anyway, onward, only another hour or so to go. I've just arrived at the town of New Hazelton. I didn't even know there was a New Hazelton. It turns out it's going to be kind of a bigger city. The first fast food restaurants and Chevron station that I've seen in 10 days or something like that. So I guess I'll learn all about it and check it out. This is the visitor center. I gather it's a combination of historic native village land, some of which I read about a few miles back, and frontier BC discovery. Anyway, good to be here. Wednesday morning on the slow trip home, and this is Smithers, BC, which is really quite a nice little town, nice size. This is Main Street downtown, and this is about 45 minutes maybe out of New Hazelton, where I stayed last night. And I'm gonna stop here and look around and get a cup of coffee. Looks great. Here I am in the community of Vanderhoof, BC. I didn't expect to think much of this morning's ride along 16, but actually I really enjoyed Smithers. It's a nice town, and then going through Houston and Burns Lake and now Vanderhoof, all pretty good, really pretty country. Vanderhoof I've been to before. 30 years ago, but I have been here before. It's grown a bit. What's important then is that this is the end of the new stuff on this trip. So yeah, the last 10 days or so I had not been to any of the places I visited, but from here on out I have, and it's really just a 2-day trip home. Still going to be pretty, should be nice. Weather's been great today. But it also marks the trip starting to wind down. It's been really great, and I can't wait to get home to Jen and to Mackie and to Gig Harbor. That's pretty cool. Here's somewhere I've never been before, simply labeled Chasm. It's about 50 kilometers, 30 miles out of Cache Creek, and it's a little river canyon I will have to read up on and learn more about. I disturbed a mountain goat up here a second ago. Cool. Camping, yes, but the wrong direction. Maybe camping, no. Last night out, beautiful trip. Last morning, heading home, leaving Cache Creek. Down to Hope and across the border at Sumas.